Most people use their cold wallets for way
Hey guys, CryptoDad here again. Thanks for joining me on the Saturday night live stream, live from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. We'll talk about Bitcoin, we'll talk about the news, we'll talk about altcoins, gonna move some crypto around for you guys, and as always, I'll do my very best to get to your questions and see if we can't troubleshoot your problems here live. Well, we've had quite a bit of a crypto market pullback since last week. It was pretty ugly there for a bit, but things are starting to come back from the brink of disaster, or so we hope. So we'll check in on the market. There's some great adoption news coming, and Trump has called for a crypto conference on March 7th, which is next week, on Friday, I believe. So things are starting to get back in gear, it looks like. Also, I'm going to move a little crypto around for you guys tonight. Hopefully, some Bitcoin from one wallet to another. So a lot of people ask me about moving crypto from one hardware device to another. And so I'll show you how to do that. But remember, the crypto's on the blockchain. And the hardware devices are just keys. But you can think of it that way. You've got one hardware device that manages one wallet. You've got another hardware device that manages a different wallet. And you want to move the crypto from one wallet to the other using your hardware devices. So I'll show you how to do that. And I can't believe that I have to do this again, but I'm going to have to tell you about another scam designed to trick you into revealing your seed phrase. I just did a video a few days ago on a Ledger scam out there that was trying to get people to update their firmware through a malicious link in an email, and then eventually was asking for their seed phrase. So now I've got another email claiming to be from Tangem telling me that I've qualified for a Tangem airdrop and gives me a link that eventually wants to ask me for my seed phrase again. So yeah, I'm going to have to show you how to avoid another scam. Here we go again. They're pretty much all the same. But, when you see them, sometimes you get sucked in. So I want to show this to you out in the wild and we'll go through it. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Let's go over and greet everybody that's here tonight. Hopefully all of the cameras are working. And we got all the right monitors up. Okay, so that's our news for tonight. But before we do that, let's dive in and say hello to everybody. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so W is here. Mr. Miski is here. Mark Schlossberg from Slovakia is here. Kenneth Wiedner, or Kenny, is here early. Hans Hannah 350. Simona. Good to have all of you back again. E. Poston from Colorado, H.R. Catherine, Emmanuel, thank you so much for your kind donation. I really appreciate it. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights is here again. Dusted in Shadow. Ooh, look at that gold membership you got going there, Dusted in Shadow. That's pretty impressive. Bobby's here, Amsterdam, Holland. Birds, Bees, and Trees, and Ali P from Holland. Awesome. Good to have everybody here. So let's jump in. And before I get too far, I want to let you know that if you check the description down below, that I've got an overview of what we're going to talk about. Our agenda here, I'm going to talk about that fake airdrop scam. My latest video, which is this one, which is the fake firmware update from Ledger. So that's been doing pretty good. I could do watch out for this scam almost every day. But, you know, I try to, you know, do other stuff on the channel like tutorials and whatnot. Yeah, and then the recommended video from Scrilla. Scrilla has done a 2-year review of Tangem. I like all the points he makes about Tangem wallets. Both he and I devote our channels to crypto security and self-custody, and both he and I like the Tangem wallet. It has its trade-offs, as does everything in life. And so as long as you understand the trade-offs when you're dealing with something like this, it's of course safe to use. There are other types of wallets that are more suited to maybe people that are more experienced, but Tangem is a great wallet that I feel for the cryptocurrency community. One of its main strengths is that it shields you from mismanaging your seed phrase if you use the seedless option. And I think that that is a very lofty goal, and I think Tangem has done a very good job in implementing that. So that's why I really like Tangem. Everything can be improved. So over time, we'll see if it adds more features and stuff. But the way it is right now, it's a great wallet for beginners. So yeah, check out Scrilla's channel. I've got a link and a shout out here for him. I've got a lot of affiliate links down here for the different hardware wallets that I talk about. A couple of metal medium for storing your seed phrase down here, CryptoTag and Stampseed. I really like those companies. And I've got all the news stories linked that we're going to talk about. Also, just to let you guys know, I think I may have mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. Hey, Dan is here. It's good to have you here. Christopher Tane. Good to have both of you here as well. I think I mentioned a few weeks ago that I was approached by Coinbase to do a promo. And so I've agreed, and I'm working with Coinbase and a marketing firm who are kind of handling the day-to-day for a short promo about Coinbase. And I get a lot of offers in my inbox for doing promos. And the majority of those are just outright scams. They're just trying to scam me by pretending to offer me a promo. But of the ones that are real, a lot of those I don't like either. I turn them down because they're companies that I really don't use or care for, that sort of thing. But when I was approached by Coinbase, I was like, hey, here's a product that I use a lot. And I had no problem doing a short promo for them. So that's in the works. And I'm looking forward to that. They really pretty much approved my version of the promo script with a few things they wanted to add. But so I'm pretty happy. You know, it was from the heart. And look forward to that. I'm going to be throwing that into some of my videos. Looking forward to being sponsored by Coinbase for some of these videos. It's pretty cool stuff. As you guys remember, I used to promo crypto.com quite a bit, but I haven't done that one in a while. And so this is an awesome opportunity, I think. Anywho, enough about that. Enough about me. Let's jump into the news. And our first story is crypto prices show signs of recovery with Bitcoin above 84K, which is up from where it was the other day, where things really got dicey when it dropped below 80,000, right? When I saw it around 79,000 or so, I started to get worried. I'm like, well, maybe it's going to keep going down. But that was just during Asian trading hours. And then the next day, it was back above 80 and has kind of been slowly crawling up since then. A far cry from where it was last week. I think last week we were in the mid 90s. But hey, Bitcoin is volatile, and it had been kind of in a pattern, a holding pattern for quite some time. So it's good to see it, break out one way or the other, right? Relieves the boredom. So the rebound comes amid a planned crypto summit hosted by Donald Trump and BlackRock's inclusion of Bitcoin in its model portfolios. So the price is above 84.4. If we look right now, where are we at? 85,891 right now. So it's been steadily rising most of the day. U.S. President Donald Trump will host a crypto summit on March 7th, featuring prominent figures in the industry. BlackRock has added its spot Bitcoin ETF to one of its model portfolios. So that's good market news. The summit and BlackRock adding their spot ETF to one of their recommended portfolios. That's great stuff. This is a little more in depth about the crypto summit coming up on March 7th, which I believe is next Friday. Bringing together industry leaders to discuss regulations, stablecoins, and Bitcoin reserve legislation. So that should be pretty exciting. The attendees will include prominent founders, CEOs, and investors from the crypto industry, along with members of President's Working Group on Digital Assets, according to an announcement shared by White House crypto czar David Sachs. So look forward to that. The crypto summit is coming next week. This is just kind of a looking back on his post on his Truth Media about appointing the crypto czar. There was a lot of excitement around the election, and that's when Bitcoin really started to take off. And there was a little bit of hesitation in the community because things, I guess, weren't moving fast enough for the crypto community. There was talk that Donald Trump had sort of forgotten about crypto, but I don't think so. Maybe someone nudged him. I don't know. Hey, what are we going to do about crypto? So I know he's got a lot on his plate, right? Here's a great adoption story. Bank of America CEO says will likely launch its own stablecoin. And this is a breath of fresh air from all the banks that had been talking about launching CBDs or whatever the... Yeah, I'm losing it, guys. Central bank digital currencies, right? There were a lot of banks were talking about launching their own blockchain version of digital assets. But now they're sort of joining the crypto ecosystem by wanting to come out with their own stable coins, most likely on the Ethereum network or maybe a faster, cheaper network like Polygon or Arbitrum or something like that. So we'll see. But that's really good news. The big banks, I think Bank of America is the number 2 bank, if I'm not mistaken. I read a story about it somewhere else, not sure. But everyone's heard of Bank of America, and it's pretty exciting that they're talking about joining the ecosystem by launching their own stablecoin. We talked a little bit about stablecoins a few weeks back. The stablecoin market is one of the drivers of the crypto ecosystem, and there's a lot of competition in stablecoin now. Will they dethrone Tether? We don't know. There's been a lot of controversy about Tether over the years, but it is still the largest stablecoin in the world. But not too people in the regulators in the U.S. aren't too crazy about Tether because it's a foreign company, and there are some questions about whether or not their assets are fully backed with currency and real assets. So stablecoin market really heating up. Okay, so here's some more good news about crypto regulation through prosecution of the former administration and the former SEC chairman Gary Gensler. Gary Gensler is out now. We've got a new crypto-friendly administration in, and so a lot of their, their witch hunt are starting to fall by the wayside. One of them was prosecuting Roger Ver, or Ver. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. But we all remember Ross Ulbricht, which President Trump guaranteed or promised in his campaign to pardon him, which he did. And so now they're calling for, the administration or the Justice Department to back off Roger Ver, who left the country, and they're after him for expatriate taxes or whatever they're after. The U.S. tax by citizenship and associated exit tax regime are extreme. The former is shared by almost no other countries in the world, and the latter is on the high end of what countries do. The UK only charges capital gains if you return within 5 years. So he left the country, and the U.S. went after him. He got arrested in Spain, awaiting extradition, and he's basically on house arrest in Spain now. And so there's been a lot of talk about dropping the charges against him. So a lot of the former administration's witch hunts are finally starting to ease up, right? And on that same, in that same vein, U.S. judge tosses SEC fraud suit against Hex founder Richard Hart. I'm not a huge fan of Hex. I'm pretty convinced that it is kind of a scam coin. I'm not a big fan, but there are a lot of people out there that believe in the Hex chain and the Pulse chain and all that stuff, and Richard Hart. The SEC basically dropped the case because of a jurisdictional issue, but it's fun. I'm glad that they're sort of going through all these cases and taking a look at them and deciding whether to continue or not. So this is just another example of the SEC backing off on a lot of their, crazy prosecutions of people, even out of their own jurisdiction. But, he's been missing ever since, because who knows, the UK or Ireland or wherever he is could throw him in jail over there awaiting extradition. So good news that, crypto people are not being prosecuted, right? Okay, so that's it for the news. Good to have everybody here tonight. A couple of things. The first was this meme I wanted to share with you guys. My thumbnail is, buy the dip. And this should be an opportunity. I am not a financial advisor, and I focus on crypto security and self-custody and avoiding scams. But I don't think it's going out on a limb very far for me to say that buying Bitcoin is a good idea. Of course, you have to make your own financial decisions and never spend money on crypto that you can't afford to lose. But it's really crazy how fast people start to abandon ship as soon as there's a pullback. And, a rational person that's accumulating Bitcoin over the long term should look at this pullback as a buying opportunity. And so here we have all these people lined up to buy Bitcoin at 100K. And now all of a sudden, now that it pulled back, I think this is an older one. But I saw one today that was 109, and then the other side was 79, and no one was there. So just kind of think about that. If you're on a dollar cost averaging for Bitcoin, why let a pullback scare you? Of course, other cryptocurrencies are much more risky in that sense. So you have to take your time when you're thinking about buying other cryptocurrencies besides Bitcoin. But for me, Bitcoin is a no-brainer, and it's a long-term hold. So there, I said it, right? Speaking of strange cryptos, a lot of people, they're afraid to buy Bitcoin when it pulls back 10 or 20%, but they're looking for these cheap meme coins or these new projects that have no liquidity and no market cap, thinking they're going to get rich, and they're spending all their money on stuff like that. They're also trying to quick mint NFTs to make a quick killing or claim shady airdrops. And so there's a lot of greed out there for people. And so I got this email. This email appeared to come from Tangem, right? And I didn't even look at the address. I usually do once I suspect it's a scam. But I started reading the email, and it says, "We are excited to share some remarkable news with you. You have qualified for the exclusive Tangem Reward scheme." And I'm like, oh, I'm so flattered. Wow, I qualified. I must be special, right? And it's time to claim your well-deserved rewards. This scheme is our way of showing our deepest appreciation for your continuous support and dedication to the Tangem project. So they buttered me up good, right? At first I thought it was real. I was like, yeah, I have done a lot to help Tangem, right? But, come on, guys. This is just, flattery. So the scam about Ledger that I covered in my previous video was a fear-based, they were coming at you with fear, right? They were trying to scare you, thinking that your Ledger device was vulnerable and you needed to run a firmware update. This scam appeals to your greed and your vanity, right? So, hey, I qualify for something free, an airdrop from Tangem. This could be the big break I've been waiting for, right? So greed, and then they butter you up telling you that you've done so much to support Tangem. So don't buy it, guys. It's a scam. Just look at the email address it comes from. This is nowhere near Tangem. There's no Tangem domain name at the end of this. This is definitely not Tangem. So what are they trying to get me to do? Well, if I click on this button, it's going to take me over to this gobbledygook that says mytangem.xyz, right? And it's telling me I'm eligible for 50 Ether. Oh, that's their total airdrop. Okay. Yeah, so they're giving away 50 Ether worth of this new Tangem token. And then I can get 10% of the wallet access. This 100% makes it look like I've already missed out, but maybe they got done scamming everybody. I don't know. Well, of course, what they want you to do is click Connect Wallet, and you'll try Connect automatically. And then they give you all these wallets to connect to. And these actually work, So if you click over here, it actually does launch your Rabby wallet. And let me see if I can get it to happen. Okay. Well, so it doesn't work right. I don't know. I don't think that you could have gotten all the way through. I don't think it's a malicious smart contract. I think what they're trying to do is have you fail and then try again manually. Right? And then when you choose manually, it takes you to this gobbledygook. And then you choose whatever wallet you got, right? They're willing to drain whatever wallet you may happen to have, right? So let's just click any old wallet and see what happens. Well, it's going to screw around. And then when you hit connect manually, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. They want you to enter your seed phrase. So they're casting a wide net, right? It could be anybody that happens to jump in here having any crypto wallet, thinking they're going to get an airdrop. And so they can try to connect their wallet manually. They get this message. Well, I can't get through and I really want this airdrop, and I'm so special. So my gosh, let me just dig out my seed phrase and type it in here so I can get my airdrop. That's how they always end. They're always looking for your seed phrase. That's the long and short of it. Most crypto scams end with you entering your seed phrase in a website. Of course, they do have malicious smart contracts, as we talked about last week with the Bybit scam, but it's much easier. This is a low-tech scam. It is so much easier to trick people into revealing their seed phrases. And it doesn't matter whether you have hardware or not. If you put in your seed phrase, they'll have full access. I have all, people, they'll say, but my hardware wallet is in a Faraday bag, locked in a safe, sealed in a hermetically sealed mayonnaise jar. How could they possibly empty my seed phrase? I'm like, they don't need your hardware. All they need is your seed phrase. That's your backup, right? That is a representation of the private key that your hardware generated. It allows you to restore your wallet to a new device, and it allows a hacker full access, and they can restore to their device or even a software wallet, have full access to your crypto wallets and drain. That's it. That's all they need. So please, guys, don't fall for these scams. Don't click these links. Don't enter your mnemonic seed phrase anywhere, ever, right? That's how they get you. So we saw one last week. I don't know if I talked about it on a live stream last week, but I did. Like I said, I did this video about the Ledger firmware scam, which used fear, saying that, oh my gosh, your wallet is insecure. And then now we're talking about this new one that appeals to our sense of greed and thinking we're going to get rich from an airdrop, and then also appeals to our vanity by telling us how great we are. Right? So that's it. All right. Let me jump in here and see if there's any burning questions, and then I'll move that crypto around for you guys. Let's see. Most in the crypto community are very impatient. It's the nature of crypto. Yes, A1, that's a very good point. That is true. A lot of people are impatient, and they're willing to just jump down the rabbit hole whenever they get an email. So yeah, that's it. Good evening. I received a hex letter in the mail. It's the second time now. Last time was when Celsius imploded and they sent a full page with Mashinsky's face like he's a scammer and hex is legit. I'm so pissed. Probably Celsius leaked my data. Should I be worried? There have been lots of leaks, not just in the crypto world. There are all kinds of database hacks and personal information leaks. Your information is pretty much public. Just about everybody's is. And even if it weren't, a lot of these scams operate on sending, they generate random emails. And it's pretty easy to just grab an email from any old site, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, or some gaming site, or some weird newsletter that you've signed up for in the past. I mean, come on, guys. Your emails have been floating around out there for some time now. And so don't be surprised when you get an email targeting you. Sure, there are some that are more targeted than usual, like the Ledger scam that I talked about had my name and my address, but my old address. And they probably got that from the Ledger customer database hack in 2020. But that was just personal information, right? Just because someone has your personal information doesn't mean they can steal your crypto. They have to try to trick you by using that information. So when someone sends you an email or sends you mail in your mailbox because they have your name and address, that doesn't mean you've lost crypto. It just means that they've got enough information to try to scare you and phish you. So just ignore it, right? That's what I do. My personal information got leaked in the customer database hack in 2020, but no one has managed to steal any crypto from me because I don't fall for these scams. So please, if I get that all the time. Oh my God, how did they have my information? They might have just randomly. I mean, I'm getting texts from MetaMask, and I never gave MetaMask my phone number, right? So a lot of these are just random spams to anybody that might have a crypto wallet. They can spam 100,000 people, and it pays back for them if they catch 2 or 3 that are dumb enough to put in their seed phrase, right? So, if they're just spamming random phone numbers, why wouldn't they be spamming random emails, right? Emails are floating around out there. You can buy like 100, 200,000 emails from almost anywhere for, marketing purposes. So don't be surprised when they have your email. That's all I got to say about that. Let's see here. Let me get down. There's a few more questions. How did the scammers get your security, 24-word security, when it's within the actual stamping card and we don't even know it? Well, they can't, right? They were targeting anybody that had a wallet, right? It didn't necessarily mean that they were trying to get your Tangem Wallet app. They're just claiming to be from Tangem and then trying to trick you into revealing whatever wallet you might have, right? It didn't have to be a Tangem wallet. It could have been any wallet, right? So yeah, I may have had a seedless Tangem wallet, and then because I couldn't use that to claim my airdrop, I would have used anything, right? Well, I can't claim the airdrop with my Tangem card, so let me give him my MetaMask seed phrase, or my Kepler seed phrase. As we talked about, crypto users, when greed is taken hold, are very impatient, and they'll give up just about anything to get access to this free crypto, right? Let's see. There are also developer YouTubers peddling sniper contracts with obfuscated sections that steal your stuff. Thanks for your advice. I text your number. It's best just to buy the Tangem card and choose the no seed phrase option, because if you don't know, the scammer will never know. That's true, but you'll still get emails claiming to be from Tangem trying to get you to reveal your seed phrase. So that's how it works, guys. No one's reaching into your wallet and pulling crypto out. They're trying to trick you into revealing your seed phrase. The hex letter was physical mail. Okay, so they got your address. So that doesn't mean that is somebody waiting outside in your mailbox? Yeah. I mean, I get it. It's scary when someone sends you a piece of mail, which means they have your address and they know your information. But they got it somewhere, right? And they'll probably keep targeting you. But how do you react? You refuse to engage, right? You report them. You report them to law enforcement. Do whatever you feel is best. But just because they have your name and address doesn't mean they can steal your crypto. The only way they can steal your crypto is if you give them the seed phrase, right? They don't have a seed phrase magnet, right? They can't just pull it out, right? Oh, and the letter didn't have a return address. What a surprise. Yeah. You can still report them to, for email. So that's wire fraud, basically. So I don't know how much evidence you'll be able to give them, but, put it on record that you reported it. And then if they get sloppy, they've already been reported, and you might manage to, they might catch a charge based on the fact that you reported them. Or if you report them and a lot of other people report them, they might get traced and tracked, right? The post office can probably track it, right? Even though there's no return address on there. What if you clicked a fake Coinbase link and put your email and password? I caught it and stopped it. I changed my password and email password as well, but keep getting into my email. How? They have your email address, right? They're going to keep spamming you. But if you changed if you got tricked into revealing you got tricked into logging into Coinbase and you were able to change your password, then you're okay, right? Change your password immediately and don't fall for these scams, and don't log into your Coinbase by using a malicious link in an email. Gunbroker11, CryptoDad, can you show me how to move a Kronos POS chain NFT to my Ledger COR account? I'm sorry, you might want to email me on that one. I really don't have any of that stuff set up. I haven't used the Kronos wallet in quite some time. It never really panned out very well for me. So I'd have to do a little bit of research on that. I'd be glad to help you. Thank you so much for the tip, but that's not something I can just do off the top of my head during the live stream because I don't have the wallet set up, and I don't have any NFTs to do the demo for you. So sorry, I can't really help you with that live. And that kind of stuff is on your phone. And like I said, I haven't used that wallet in years. So you're trying to move it from the chain to your Ledger CROO. I see what you're trying to do. Yeah, that's tricky. Yeah, that's one of the reasons that I don't use the CRO chain. I find it really kind of difficult to use, and they changed their CRO chain. I think there's like 3 different chains. There's the regular chain, there's the Ethereum chain, there's the Kronos chain, and their wallet has all kinds of like idiosyncrasies to it, and that's why I just stopped using it several years back. But I know what you're asking. It's just not something I can do for you here live. Please, please, please shoot me an email, because there's no way for me to contact you based on the fact that you're in my stream chat. If you leave a comment down below after the live stream is over, you can't leave comments while the live stream is active. I know that's weird too, but at least I could reply to your comment. But the easiest thing to do would be for you to shoot me an email, thecryptodad@gmail.com, and I will do my best to answer your question, but it's not something I can just do off the cuff because we're in the middle of this live stream and I don't even have the wallet installed. Let's see. In my opinion, is the bull run over? I'm flattered that you think my opinion really matters, but I don't make those kind of predictions. I told you I think Bitcoin is a long-term buy, but whether or not the bull run is over, that's a matter of opinion, and I'm here for wallet tech support and avoiding scams. Let's see. Also make sure set up 2FA on your Coinbase account. Yes, 2FA on your Coinbase account. Even a hardware passkey is also a good one. I've been using my Ledger STAX as my passkey on my Coinbase account. So you might want to check into that. Let's do that crypto transfer of wallet to wallet. So we're going to go into Ledger Live. Now, I've talked about managing multiple devices in Ledger Live on many different occasions. I believe I have some videos on that. But suffice it to say that you can set up accounts you can manage multiple devices within Ledger, one copy of Ledger Live. So if we go to my accounts, you can see I have a Bitcoin account for my Flex, and I have a Bitcoin account for my Stacks. And you might ask, well, how do you do that? Well, all you have to do is hit Add Account, tell it what kind of crypto you want to manage, and then connect your device. So whatever device you connect when you set up the account, is the device that manages that account. It's basically as simple as that. So if you're managing one device and you want to manage a third device or a second or a third device, then simply attach the secondary device. You can set up a brand new device standalone without connecting to Ledger Live, or you can have Ledger Live walk you through the process. You can go up here to the top right, hit Settings, and then go over here to Help. And then there's a device setup here that you can launch that'll walk you through setting up a brand new device in an existing copy of Ledger Live. And when you're all done, you'll have that new device set up, and then you'll be able to manage that device in Ledger Live. So as I mentioned, let me just kind of show you what I'm talking about. All right, so I've got two devices here. I've got a Ledger STAX and I have a Ledger Flex. And these two devices both have crypto in my Ledger Live. So what I would like to do is take the Bitcoin that's in my Ledger Flex, but it's not in my Ledger Flex. It's being managed by my Ledger Flex. But let's just think of it that way. I would like to move this Bitcoin into the Ledger STAX account, the account managed by Ledger STAX. Crypto is not in the device. I know. I hate to burst your bubble if you think that crypto is in the device, but it's not. It's out there on the blockchain. I've had a lot of people that say, how much Bitcoin can this Ledger device hold? Well, unlimited, right? However much Bitcoin you can get your hands on, it will fit into the device because it's not in the device. It's on the blockchain. All right, so let me show you how the devices work when we manage crypto. So the first thing we want to do is get the destination. I told you I'd like to move crypto from Flex to STAX. So we start with STAX. We open up the STAX account and we say receive, right? And we get the address. Now when we hit continue, it's going to ask me to attach the device. So I'm getting my receiving address from STAX. So what I would like to do is verify this account. I've had some sad stories of people that have dumped crypto into an account that was being managed by a device that had been reset. So what they were doing was they had reset their device. They no longer had access to the account. And so every time they tried to do a receive, they were getting the oops, something went wrong message. And so they kept bypassing it by saying, oh, I don't have my device. And then they got their address and they kept dumping crypto in the account because thinking that, oh, it's fine, it's in Ledger Live. Well, unfortunately, because they had wiped the device and they couldn't find their seed phrase, they had no access to this account. So they just kept dropping crypto in an account that they couldn't access. Don't make that mistake. By doing the verify address whenever you want to send crypto, you'll guarantee that you have the device that gives you access to the account. Right? So I'll click verify, and then it wants me to open the device. Whoops. Okay. All right. Come on, Rex. You can do this. Trying to get the camera set up here. Okay. Well, that was kind of weird. All right. Okay. So we got that. This is my Ledger STAX. So what I need to do is unlock the device. So I'll enter my PIN. All right, so now that I've unlocked the device, I should get into the Bitcoin app. It should tell me to get into the Bitcoin app. So I'm just going to back up and do it again. Something was kind of weird about that. Okay. Oh! You know what would help if I were connecting this device to a cable that was connected to my computer rather than my charging brick, right? So let me get the right cable and connect it. All right. There's always an explanation for everything, right? All right, let's try this again. All right, there we go. Now I can hit retry. The last time I used this device, I was in the Bitcoin app. There we go. See, this is our hardware check. This verifies, even though I'm just doing a receive, I want to do the hardware check every single time to make sure that the addresses match, right? So here is the address showing on the device, and I can eyeball it and make sure that it's the same address I see on my screen. This is what they call attestation, or, you know, a secure screen interface. So I can confirm on my device that this is in fact the correct address of my hardware wallet. I'll go ahead and copy it into my clipboard. I'll go ahead and hit confirm, and then we're done. We've got our destination address. I know that was pretty long and involved, but this is how you do crypto transfers. You need the address first. If someone wants to send you a check or pay you for services, what's the first thing they do? Hey, what's your address? Give me your address, I'll mail you a check, right? Same with crypto. You want to send crypto to a wallet, the first thing the destination wallet, the first thing that the receiver, the sender needs to know where to send the crypto. So the first question is, hey, what's your address? Well, we just got it, right? It's in our clipboard. Now we need to go over to the other sending address, right? The flex. This is where we want to send the Bitcoin from. So we hit send. What's the first question? Where do you want to send it? Well, I got the address in my clipboard, so we're good on that, right? So I'll hit continue, and I'll go ahead and we'll do the small test, right? We don't want to do too much. Let's just send $100 worth of Bitcoin as our small test. We'll hit continue. We'll hit continue again. And what's going to happen? It's going to say something went wrong. Why? Because I have the wrong device attached. I have the receiving address device attached. We're sending to the flex. I'm sorry, we're sending from the flex. So the flex needs to authorize this. So I'm going to disconnect my stacks. Going to plug in my flex. Right? And then I'm going to go ahead and enter the PIN on there. And there we go. I'll retry. Wants me to open the Bitcoin app. All right, and now I need to sign the outgoing transaction. And there's the information about my transaction, where it's going to. There's that receiving address that we got. And now I need to hold and sign. And it's processing, and there we go. All right, I sent that $100 worth of Bitcoin. It went out from this account. Let's go over to the stacks and do a resync. And we should see that Bitcoin hit this wallet very shortly. God, I mean, usually it takes me like 2 minutes to do this, but I'm explaining every step of the way. Yeah, and it's not cooperating with me tonight. So we went out from Flex. Okay, so Flex is showing that $100 worth of Bitcoin went out, and Stacks should be showing us an incoming transaction shortly. Always happens when I'm live, right? Okay. Let's see here. Use password manager like 1Password, friends. Yes, I use 1Password. I love it. I think it's awesome. Choose one winner, Solana, Sue. I don't do predictions, guys. This is about crypto, self-custody, tech support, and avoiding scams. I don't do markets. I don't do coin evaluations. Sorry to disappoint you. Yeah, I apologize for that, but that's not what this channel's about. Come on, baby. I'm waiting for you. Wow, it's taken a long time tonight. Okay. I guess we'll be here till morning waiting for this Bitcoin to hit my wallet. Come on. I know you're there. Okay. Usually it hits pretty quick when I go wallet to wallet. I like Taha. Yeah, she trusts me, but not closed source wallets. Well, that's fine, Taha. If I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. There aren't very many totally open source wallets on the market. There are a lot of wallets that claim to be open source, but they incorporate secure element chips in some way or form, and secure element chips are closed source by design. So I think, and then there are some other what they call seedless wallets, but they basically rely on devices to secure your private key, and usually one of those devices is held by the wallet entity. So I'm not a big fan of those either. I was under the impression that there really weren't any secure, there weren't really any true open source wallets, that every wallet out there involves some source of some element of closed source. But apparently the Jade Stream, I think it's called. Now a lot of people say Cold Card is fully open source. It is not. It employs secure element chips. So any wallet that uses secure element chips uses a design that is closed source by they're closed source by design because they are security devices. So I understand your whole closed source argument, but there's been a lot of FUD around Ledger devices being closed source, but they are one of many that employs secure element chips, which I feel is that's a good thing, not a bad thing. But I'm not going to go into a big long... God, why is this taking so long? It's killing me here. Wow. Usually wallet to wallet just takes a few minutes. Okay, so let's take a look on the blockchain and see what's happening. Okay, so we got a couple of confirmations, but usually we see the transaction hit the receiving wallet fairly quickly. So I don't know why it's taken so long tonight. Yeah. It's really disappointing me when I'm here with all my trying to show my friends how to do this and I'm not getting anything. It's just not cooperating with me tonight. Okay. All right. I get it. Boy, I'm glad I didn't do all of it, right? Or I'd have really been sweating live. Boy. Yeah, this is just really taking forever tonight. Okay. Actually, yeah, you can see incoming transactions. Okay. All I'm seeing down here in latest operations is the outgoing, but I still don't see the incoming yet. Okay. I guess we'll just have to wait. Yeah, Tangem. If you're unhappy with the way Tangem handles SegWit addresses and you can't use it with Sparrow, it sounds like you really need a wallet with a little more functionality. As I mentioned earlier, I love Tangem. but it has its own specific use case, ideally for newcomers, and it hides the seed phrase or the private key to prevent mismanagement of said seed phrase. I showed you a scam tonight that involved tricking someone into revealing their seed phrase, and that is one of the largest attack surfaces in the crypto ecosystem, is tricking people into revealing their seed phrases. So Tangem solves that issue. Is it perfect? No. Is any wallet perfect? No. Is security on off? No, it's not. There is no it is secure or it's not secure. It's always a continuum. You want to make your wallet more secure rather than less secure. You want your crypto security practices to be more secure rather than less secure, right? You want your the management of your crypto exchanges to be more secure, not less secure. But there is no on-off switch, right? There is no is secure, is not secure, right? If you're using Coinbase, use a strong password. Maybe use an email that you don't normally use that's not connected to all your other stuff that you're doing. Turn on two-factor authentication. Maybe use a passkey on your computer or one of your hardware devices, right? You want to do the most you can to increase your security. The same with crypto wallets. Keep your seed phrase safe and secure. Don't take a picture of it. All those things. Good OPSEC is always what you're trying to achieve, your best practice. But yeah, you can't just say, hey, that wallet's secure, that wallet's not secure. It's always a continuum. Oh my gosh, I really wanted this test to go through so that we could move the rest of it, but it's just not going to cooperate with me tonight. Okay. Oh well, things, I'm not going to go ahead. I'm not going to move the rest until I see my test come in. And while we're on the subject of small tests, there are so many things that people do wrong. There are so many ways that people lose crypto through, not blatant mistakes, but oversights. Maybe you're moving a little too quick, but I have so many stories of people, hey, I tried to withdraw crypto from this exchange to this wallet and it never showed up. Probably because it was on the wrong chain or whatever the case may be. And then I go, well, how much is it? And it's always, well, it was $5,000 worth of crypto. Can you help me? I'm like, why didn't you try moving $20 worth of crypto or $100 worth of crypto for a quick test transaction? Why did you move $5,000 worth of crypto on a first try, not really having done it before, right? So the small test can save you so much heartache. I know you're impatient. You want to get it done right away, but your crypto will be there, in an hour. So do that small test. You'll thank me later. Don't move giant amounts of crypto back and forth until you're completely sure that it's going to work. Now, I know that this transaction back and forth is going to work, right? Because I can do receive, get that address. It ends in 88UQ. And I can go back over here to my Flex and look at that outgoing transaction and see that address right there, 8UQ. I know it's going to the right address. Now, there's a small possibility that there's really not, right? Because I got the address by doing the hardware check. We hear about address poisoning schemes, and that's where people take their sending address from a previous transaction without doing their hardware check every time. So when you do your hardware check every single time, you know that you got that address and that it is the correct address from beginning to end, right? Come on, can you please hit that stacks for me? Oh man, I'm just freaking out over this. And I've done this live so many times, and usually it hits the other wallet even before it's completely confirmed on the blockchain, it still hits the other wallet so that I can see that it's come in. Yeah, just not going to happen. Oh well. Try closing Ledger Live and then opening again. Very good. Let's do that. I appreciate that. That's a very good suggestion. Sometimes that's what you have to do. Maybe that'll work. Okay. Let's hit that stacks. Oh, there it is. Look at that. Yeah. All right, so let's send the rest, right? We can send to that same address because it's still in my clipboard. Let's go back over to Flex. Let's hit send. Let's hit paste. There it is. Let's hit continue. Let's hit max. Let's hit continue. Let's hit continue. And off it goes. And I need to authorize on the Flex because that's where I'm sending it from. Let's turn that camera back on again. Where is it? There it is. All right, it's processing, and I need to sign the transaction. So we'll swipe. Right, there's the address again where we're sending it. And now I need to hold and sign. And there we go. And off it goes. Boom. Now, I think ideally, maybe I should have done that. If I'd have done that hardware check again, it would have been a different address, right? Because once that first transaction hit the wallet, now the wallet will generate a brand new address when I go to receive again. So, if I go back to Stacks, because it received that 100, if I hit receive again, you see that's a completely different address, right? So we already tested the first address, so at my small test, so it just kind of made sense to go ahead and resend to the same address, right? Now, sometimes like large transactions go a little faster or process faster. That's just been my experience, and I think that might be because larger transactions tend to get mined quicker. But as you can see, we're still in the outgoing phase over here, right? If we look at the Blockchain Explorer, we're looking at an unconfirmed transaction, right? So it's going to take a few minutes. But yeah, let's quit Ledger Live and try it again. That might help. I'm glad you suggested that. I appreciate that. That's usually what I do when I'm not live. Yeah. It's still showing that there's some on the Flex. So we should see this one go to 0 shortly. Let's see. Are there any questions? Thank you, Mr. Miskey, for that suggestion. That seemed to work, at least with our test transaction. And then we sent the rest. Yeah. So let's see here. Actually, at some point, we should probably see like the balance go way down as it disappears from one wallet before it shows up in the other wallet. Things are moving slow tonight, but that's okay. Yeah, we're still waiting. Still unconfirmed. Yeah, I don't know. I've done this before during the stream with Bitcoin transactions, and usually the outgoing wallet goes to 0 really quick. So it may be because there's a lot of activity on the blockchain, tonight for whatever reason. We are in an upswing. You know, we're hovering around 86,000. So maybe there's a lot of blockchain activity going on. Maybe that's why we're not getting like quick updates. I don't know. How long did that last one take? That last one seemed like it took a good 10 minutes before we actually saw it from one wallet to the other. I'll just keep hitting this. Okay. It would be nice. I would love to see this wallet go down to 0. But, you know, we can also eyeball it here and see that it's the exact same address that we sent to the first time. It's like a one-to-one correspondence. Pretty easy. So we know we sent it to the right place. We're just waiting for it to confirm on the blockchain. I can hang out with you guys for a little while. Mr. Miski, best name ever. We can look at the transaction on the blockchain. Yeah, Ledger Live makes that fairly easy. Right. That's the transaction ID. We can look in other places too. We can look at blockchain. Whoops. .com. Whoops, I misspelled it there. Here, this one. We'll go to the Explorer. We'll paste in that transaction ID. And there we go. Oh, you see what it did? It took several smaller transactions and combined them. Right? That's just the way Bitcoin blockchains work, or Bitcoin wallets work. But I don't see... Oh, it says confirmed here. Well, that's good news. Yeah, it just doesn't seem to be happening as fast as we would like it, huh? At least not in Ledger Live. Also, we could take... let's grab this address, and we could do the same thing. We can go over here. We'll paste in this address, and let's see what the... there's the address. And it's saying that there's a bunch of Bitcoin in here. Although it should be more, I think. That's not the... That's the incoming, right? Yeah. Wow, it's just so slow tonight. So crazy slow. Oh, now it says 150. Okay. Oh, did I not send it all? I thought I sent it all. Maybe I just sent... maybe I messed up and didn't send it all. I could have sworn I sent it all. Let's close Ledger Live and open it again. See what happens. Okay, there we go. All right, so the bulk of the Bitcoin came in. As you can see, it's not fully confirmed on the blockchain yet, but we did consolidate those accounts, right? So if we look now, Bitcoin Flex is empty. At least the Bitcoin account managed by the Flex is now empty. So we managed to send the Bitcoin out from one wallet into the other wallet, and they were being managed by two different devices. But I needed to use both devices. I needed to use the STAX to verify the incoming address, and then I needed the Flex to actually authorize the outgoing transaction. So when you're dealing with two hardware devices, this would be how you can move between one and the other. You just have to keep straight in your head which one is the source and which one is the destination, and act accordingly. The most confusing thing about a Bitcoin transfer is you start with the destination, right? You're like, okay, I need to know where I'm sending it. So you go to the destination first to get the receiving address. Then you go back to the sending wallet to actually do the transaction. All right, so I won't bore you with the details, but once we see it hit the wallet, it will confirm eventually, and we know that it's safe and sound in the wallet, even though it's unspendable at this point. All right, yeah, it could be just the Ledger Live servers that were having trouble syncing up. Maybe that's why it was taking so long, because on the Blockchain Explorer, it seemed to show that the transfer had occurred before we saw it in Ledger Live. But not a big deal, just a little bit of a delay. I know we're all impatient, especially when it's a pretty big transfer, at least for me. But everything, all's well that ends well. So I want to thank everyone that was here tonight. I really appreciate you guys stopping by. Ken, thanks for the news, Kenny. Thanks everyone that came in early tonight to warm up the room. Emmanuel, thank you so much for your generous donation. Dan, thank you for being here tonight and moderating. Good to have you. Good to JDO, wherever you are. Thank you for everything you do. I missed you tonight, but hopefully I'll see you again next week. Thank you everyone that asked questions. Gunbroker, thank you so much for that donation and the question about the Kronos POS chain. I believe you're talking about the DeFi wallet for crypto.com. So please shoot me an email so that I can give you a little more detailed breakdown of how you would do that. But it's very similar to sending an ERC20 token from one Ethereum wallet to another. You're just using a different chain. You could do it in MetaMask, or you could do it using the DeFi wallet. But shoot me an email, please, and I will give you a more detailed answer to that. Thanks for hanging with me tonight. Thanks for just coming in and watching. I will see you again next week, guys. You can see behind my little curtain there. I'm like the Wizard of Oz. But I will be here again next Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please join me again for the live stream from Michigan, where you can throw out questions, and I'll do my best to get them answered. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me, and hope to see you again soon, guys. Have a good night, and we'll see you next week. Keep an eye on the channel. Should be posting some good videos for you guys.